This video, what all are the important questions that are asked for the this Samhita BMS first year. These are only important questions. I have studied previous 10-year questions and I have marked some important questions. From this only maximum you can score aram se passing marks. So each chapter individual 4 to 5 questions I have listed like this, 3 and 5. So these are only very important. Just instead of studying whole textbook, just study these one, which fetches you the more marks. So first chapter according to this Charaka Samhita, Dirgan Jiviti Adhyaya. In that chapter, question definition of Ayurveda and synonyms of Ayu, that will be asked for the 5 marks question. Samanya Vishesha or Tridanda, 5 marks question. These two are mostly repeated questions. So study these two concepts. And Ayurveda Prayojanaham, this is also rare, but only once they asked in supply exam. Next one is Chikista definition, Sharirika and Manasika Vyadhi. This is very important for 10 marks. For our university exam, they have asked this only, definition of Chikista, Sharirika and Manasika Vyadhi. This they have asked, so this is very important from this chapter. Next stages, 5 types of Lavana, 8 types of Mutram, 8 types of Kshira and Trayoshodhana Rukshaham. This is less important as compared to these above four, but as a safer side, if you just remember what are the types of the Lavana and types of the Mutra and types of the Kshira, that becomes more important, that becomes more easy for you. If they ask also, you can just write the types so that you can get some marks. So only these 5 topics are most high weightage from the first chapter. Next one is the Apamarga Tandulini Adhya, drugs useful for the Panchakarma. That is drugs useful for the Panchakarma. They'll ask question like this only, drug useful for the Panchakarma. That is Vamana drugs, Virechana drug and Astapana Basti drugs. 5 marks question they'll ask. So instead of studying shloka, just study what are the dravyas useful for in Vamana, Virechana and Astapana Basti, and some little introduction of the Vamana, Virechana and Astapana Basti. And from Aragvadya Adhyaya, usually they'll not ask questions from this chapter. So keep it as last. Next one is Shad Virechana Shatashritio Adhyaya. 5 marks question fix from this chapter. What are that? These 4 topics they will ask. First one is Pancha Virechanashraya, 6 parts of the plant, Pancha Kashaya Yonaya and Pancha Vida Kashaya Kalpana, Panchanmaha Mahakashaya. Among these 4, highly important is Pancha Kashaya Yonaya, Pancha Vida Kashaya Kalpana. Among these 2, Pancha Vida Kashaya Kalpana is highly repeated one. Next is the Matra Shitya Adhyaya. From this chapter they'll ask Dhumapana, 10 marks, fixed question, there is no escaping. From this only they'll ask Matra Shitya Adhyaya, Dhumapana. You should include both Ashtanga Hridaya and the Charaka Samhita while writing. So don't forget to study Dhumapana concept. Next, Murdi Taila or the Karnapurna. 5 marks they have asked for 2 to 3 times in the exam. That's it. Next one is the Tasya Shitiyo Adhyaya. And Tasya Shitiya Adhyaya, any one Rutu they'll ask for 10 marks. So again any one Rutu Charya they'll ask for 10 marks. Again you have to include both Ashtanga Hridaya and the Charaka Samhita. Next is Na Vegan Dharya. Again this explain Adharaniya Vega Chikista for 10 marks or Dharaniya Vega. Again here also 10 marks questions. These 3 are important. These 3 chapters. First one is the Matra Shitaya Adhyaya. Second one is the Tasya Shitya Adhyaya, because one Rutu they will ask. Next one is the Na Vegan Dharya Adhyaya. Among this one Vega they'll ask. See, they'll ask 4 questions, almost 4 questions. Among that 2 questions are fixed. One they'll ask from the Rutu, another they'll ask from this Vegas. 2 questions are fixed, and third question they'll ask from the Matra Shitaya Adhyaya only, which is important. Next one is the Indriyopakarmaniya Adhyaya. In this Indriya Panchaka they have asked for us for 5 marks. Adhyatma Dravya Guna Sangraha, desirable to know this is. Next Sadruta, similar to Ashtanga Hridaya. See, if Dhumapana is also, if they ask, next one will be this Sadruta, very highly weightage. If they ask for 10 marks, okay. If they don't ask for 10 marks, definitely they'll ask for 5 marks. Explain the Sadruta. Next Khudaka Chatuspadya Adhyaya. Chikista of Chatuspadya include both Ashtanga Hridaya and 10 mark Samhita, that is for the 10 marks. Chikista Chatushpadi Adhyaya, Bishak Dravya, Bhaishaja, Upastha, that is there, no? That they'll ask for 10 marks. If they ask 10 marks, write both Ashtanga Hridaya and Charaka Samhita. Only this topic is important from this chapter. Next, Vaidya Guna, aims of the physician and qualities of the physician. For 5 marks they'll ask. Next one is the Mahachatuspadiyo Adhyaya. In this they'll ask classification of the Vyadhi, Sadhya Asadhya Vyadhi. For 10 marks they'll ask. See, one question is from Vegandharya is fix. Second question is from the Rutucharya is fix. Another 2 questions from the, either they'll ask Dhumapana, or they'll ask this Vyadhi classification, or they'll ask Chikista classification, or Sadruta. These are 1 2 3 4. These 4 if you study, another among these 4 any 2 will be confirmedly they'll ask for the exam. Next one is the Taiseshriya Adhyaya. Explain about the Trishriya, that is 3 Ishanam. And they can also ask Saptatrika explanation, 10 marks. For us, when the paper was leaked in the year 2025 23-24 batch, the paper was leaked, Samhita. At that time this question was asked for the 10 marks, that is Saptatrika explanation. Next, Vatakaliyo Adhyaya, they asked this for the 5 marks. Next one is the Ashtanga Hridaya important questions, that is from Aishkami Adhyaya, origin of Ayurveda and branches of Ayurveda, highly repeated question. Next one is the dosha relation with the Agni, Koshta, Deha Prakriti, all mingling together. They'll ask one question, that how dosha is interrelated with the Agni, Koshta and Deha Prakriti. Next one is the Rasa, Virya, Vipaka explanation for 5 marks. These all are similar to the Kriya topics what I have studied. Rasa, Virya, Vipaka. Next one is Chikitsa Chatuspada. As I studied in Kudaka Chatuspadaya, Chikitsa Chatuspada they'll ask. So include both Ashtanga Hridaya and Charaka Samhita. Next, Vyadhi Beda. So here also it is repeated. Ashtanga also repeated, Charaka also repeated. So asking these 2 questions for the 10 marks is highly important, highly possible, because it is repeated in the both Samhitas. Next one is the Dinacharya. Sometimes they'll sometimes for 10 marks directly they'll explain the directly they'll ask the explain Dinacharya. For 10 marks only they'll ask. So at that time you have to include these all points. Explain Dinacharya Adhyaya, for 10 marks direct they'll ask, most repeated also. And you have to explain Vyayama, Abhyanga, Anjana, such all things, and Sadruta for last. If not, they'll ask alone Vyayama, Abhyanga, Anjana, any one for the 5 marks. Then Sadruta 10 marks is repeated. Again you have to include this one, both Ashtanga and Charaka, both also you have to include. Next, Ritucharya, any one Ritu they'll ask, or Adanakala or Visargakala differentiation. 5 marks or the 10 marks, fixed questions they'll ask from this. Next one is the Rogan Utpadi Adhyaya. Among here again Adharaniya Vega and Dharaniya Vega, any one they'll ask. Among that Adharaniya Vega is highly repeated, important market. Next, Drava Dravya Vignaniya Adhyaya. Among this Toya Varga is repeated for 5 times, and Kshira Varga, only these 2 are mostly repeated. And I am not saying to not to study others, but I am saying these are most repeated, which are correlated with the contemporary. Next one is the Annaswarupa Vignani Adhyaya, not so much important from this chapter. Next, you have to Shukradhanya Varga, Shukradhanya Varga or Phala Varga. These 2 are the Shukradhanya Varga or the Phala Varga, these 2 are the important. Next one is the Annarakshasya Adhyaya. Annaraksha Adhyaya, in this explain the concept of the Nidra is repeated for the most repeated. Next, Viruddhahara for 5 marks. Viruddhahara is important. Concept of Trayo Upastambha, this is also repeated. Trayo Upastambha, Nidra, Aharam, Brahmacharya. So these 3 are Trayo Upastambha, that is important. These 3 are important topics from the Annarakshaya Adhyaya. Next one is the Matrashitaya Adhyaya, that is Alasaka and Visuchika. And among these they'll ask what is Nidana for the Alasaka and Visuchika, Lakshana and Chikista, important for 10 marks for Matrashitaya Adhyaya. Explain Ajirna Chikista, explain about the Anupanaha. Only these 3 topics are important from the Matrashitaya Adhyaya. Next one is the Dravyadi Vignaniya Adhyaya. Here they'll ask Prabhava concept for 5 marks, or Viryam Ashtavida Viryaha. Mostly they ask the Prabhava concept repeatedly. Next one is the Rasa Bedini Adhyaya. As I said, 10 marks for 2025 question paper. They ask directly to explain the Rasa Bedini Adhyaya full chapter. Study it. It is very easy. Only Rasa and Guna, Karma, Rasa with respect to its Guna, Karma, and some examples. Only that much is there. So study well. Next, Doshadi Vijnani Adhyaya. Among this, Ashraya Ashraya Bhava, Dosha Dhatu Ruddhikshaya, 10 marks. This is also study. I already have studied this in physiology or Kriya Sharira, so don't ignore this. Next, Dosha Dhatu Ruddhikshaya, normal function, concept of the Ojas. For 5 marks, most important topic is Ojas. Dosha Bhedi Adhyaya. See, mistakenly these questions should be written from this chapter. Mistakenly I have written above, so don't get confused. Dosha Bheda Sthana and its Karma. That means these two topics, Dosha Vijnani Adhyaya, Dosha Bhedi Adhyaya, are similar to the Kriya Sharira. So Dosha Bheda Sthana and Karma. That means Vata Pitta Kapha, normal function, and their normal where Vata Pitta Kapha Sthana and normal function, that much only. Next one is the Doshopakramaniya Adhyaya, and here they'll ask concept of the Ama for 10 marks or either 5 marks. Important. Aushadha Sevana Kala, treatment of the Vata Vyadhi, Pitta Vyadhi, Kapha Vyadhi, only one. For 5 marks fixed they'll ask any one. Next, Dividopakramaniya Adhyaya, from this chapter concept of the Santarpana and Apatarpana, difference they'll ask for 10 marks. Next, Dividopakramaniya, here two types of akrama, that is Santarpana and Apatarpana. For anyone they'll ask concept of the Shodhana, Shamana, Brahmana, Langana, any one 5 marks is fixed. As from Doshopakramaniya Adhyaya, they'll ask any one disease, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, any one Vyadhi. Here concept of Shomana, Shamana, Brahmana, any one for 5 marks they'll ask. And Shodhanadigana Sangraha Adhyaya, 15th chapter. This is not asked any questions from this chapter. So these are the important questions. You have to study well for Samhita exam to get pass in the main exams. I have prepared this one by analyzing most 10 years questions paper. Even I have studied these questions only and scored almost and scored 78 marks in my Samhita University exam. So if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. It takes more effort for me to create videos for you, and so please consider my effort and subscribe to channel and share to your friends. And thanks for watching this channel. Thank you. Bye bye.